welcome to Omei Music Conversations. When parents enroll their children in piano lessons, they usually have good reasons. They've heard that music supports brain development, improves hand-eye coordination, strengthens concentration, and may even benefit learning in subjects like math and reading. And they are right. Music education offers all of those benefits. But over the years, I've come to believe that piano teaches children something even more valuable. It teaches them that learning is a process, not a one-time task. It consists of many small steps, many small improvements, and many small discoveries that gradually accumulate until one day they become something much bigger. Competence. Most people think learning the piano is simply about learning the correct notes. It really isn't. Learning the piano involves much more than learning the correct notes. As children grow as musicians, they gradually develop several different kinds of skills. At Omei Academy, we believe that the gradual integration of these different skills builds musical competence. Let's begin with cognitive skills. When children first begin reading music, every note requires attention. They identify one note at a time, just as beginning readers identify one letter at a time. As they gain experience, they stop looking at every individual note. Instead, they begin recognizing intervals, patterns, scales, chords, and musical phrases. They start understanding how the music is organized rather than simply decoding one note after another. Every new pattern they recognize contributes to their growing musical competence. The second area involves motor skills. Playing the piano is not about moving fingers quickly. It is about developing control. Children gradually learn that different touch produces different sounds. They also learn to coordinate movements that are often completely different in each hand while developing the control and fingering needed to move smoothly around the keyboard. These abilities take years to develop and continue improving as children mature. As children gain greater control over their movements, their musical competence continues to grow. The third area is auditory skills. Parents sometimes assume that if a child plays a wrong note, they should immediately recognize the mistake. But beginners often can't. Listening is a skill that develops over time. As children repeatedly play and hear the same notes, they gradually develop an expectation of how those notes should sound. Over time, that same process extends to interval, rhythms, chords, and eventually entire musical phrases. Only after developing those expectations can children begin recognizing when something doesn't sound the way they intended. During lessons, we help students build those listening skills by explaining new musical ideas, pointing out patterns, asking questions, and encouraging them to listen carefully to their own playing. Little by little, they begin hearing things they couldn't hear before. Eventually, they begin recognizing those things independently. Every improvement in listening strengthens a child's musical competence. And finally, there are expressive skills. Musicality is not something we add after a piece has been learned. It develops alongside every other musical skill. As children's reading, listening, and physical control mature, their ability to communicate through music matures as well. Over time, expression becomes less of an instruction from the teacher and more of a natural part of how they play. As musical expression becomes more natural, so does their musical competence. However, these skills don't all develop at the same pace. Reading music often develops before listening becomes refined. Physical control continues improving for many years. Musical expression deepens with both experience and maturity. Every child develops differently, and every skill follows its own timeline. As teachers, our role is not to rush the process. Our role is to provide the instruction, guidance, and opportunities that allow each of these skills to grow steadily over time. Children don't become musicians by developing just one skill. They become musicians as these different skills gradually come together. Over time, children stop thinking about reading, listening, movement, and expression as separate tasks. These skills begin working together so naturally that they simply become part of making music. And that's when something remarkable happens. Children don't just become more knowledgeable musicians, they become more capable thinkers, listeners, and communicators. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time on Omei Music Conversations.